I'm posting on the website.
We're live. Okay, we're live.
Woo. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Okay.
Okay, and who's is supposed to join? Just
like it's open to the public.
Okay. And so far, do we have other participants?
Well, we're going to be answering questions.
Okay.
From students or people interested in joining Fulbright.
Okay. And so far, do we have other participants?
Like
Oh my God, I
Fulbrighters?
hear my voice echoing. Okay.
No, Fulbrighters just us. Or people interested in joining Fulbright. Okay, so I want to go do the small
Anas is
introduction.
gone.
He can come back. Yeah. That's the beauty of Hangout. You don't have to call them each time. Yeah.
So maybe, yeah, we could start with introductions. You could start, Adnan.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just wait for people to come in. You don't have to call them each time.
Can you hear yourselves, guys, or just me?
Sorry, guys. I'm the one who opened the link just to see if we're live or not.
Oh, okay.
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 Yeah, we'll just wait for people to come in. Like, give them 5 minutes or so. Then we'll start introducing ourselves.
Okay. In the meantime, how's life in New Zealand? I have no no information about that country, so.
Country, yeah. Well, it's good. It's more of a European style here.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody has the link open too.
Not me.
Do you want me to open it?
No, because I hear myself.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so it's good.
No,
it's nice. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you, really?
How's it like food like? How's the food like?
The food.
Problem.
Of course.
I have not eaten anything like special to them, like they're known for. I don't know. I have not asked that, but the food is good.
Okay.
It's not US portions, of course. It's more, I told you, it's more of a European style, like small portions than the US.
Nothing is US portion.
Yeah, nothing is like the US portions.
I miss them.
Yeah.
I hate it in here when I go and like ask for like burger and it's so tiny. And the fries so small and so little.
Tiny, not Algeria tiny, and not US big.
Good.
Yeah. And we are in winter because we're in the southern hemisphere, so it's winter.
Okay.
Well, it's the fall going into winter, which is good because Ramadan starts on tomorrow, on Sunday, and I only have to fast from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Easy
Yeah,
peasy.
oh my God, I'm coming. I'm coming to visit. I don't care.
Yeah, so it's easy peasy.
16 hours here.
Yeah. What?
Yep. 16 hours here.
I know,
Yeah,
but
so,
like.
sorry guys to cut you off. We have like 3 viewers now, so I don't know if they want to ask any questions. I'll start with introducing myself. I'm Adnan Jusha.
Yeah, we can do that.
Former Fulbrighter. I finished my Fulbright last year in 2016. Yeah. Next one.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Maria Mashhoud. I'm also a former Fulbrighter. Finished it also last year, 2016.
Hi everyone. My name is Raja Ibn Mansour. I am as well a former Fulbright, and I also graduated in May 2016. And now I'm back. I'm back to Algeria. I'm back home. Being back home is actually it's a great feeling. I did not expect it to be as good, but it's refreshing. So yeah, if you guys have questions, you can go ahead and we'll be happy to answer them.
Answer those questions, yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions that I got through, private messaging and some earlier. We can start with that, waiting
Okay.
for the others to join. First one, can we apply after obtaining a master's degree from an Algerian university? I want to go ahead and...
I could answer that.
Mm-hmm.
So in my
Okay.
experience, I was actually doing my master's when I applied for Fulbright. I was in my second year master's, and there was absolutely no issue. So the short answer is yes. You could apply for a master's for a Fulbright scholarship, even if you have a master's degree. That short answer.
Okay.
If you want more details, I'd be happy to answer, but there's absolutely no problem. I've had that experience, so.
Okay,
Adnan
cool.
or Miriam,
There was...
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know honestly a lot about that since I had my BA when I applied, so.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that actually. If you apply for a second master's with a scholarship, it's fine.
Someone is asking the same topic, I think, kind of. So can someone apply while he's in the third year LMD system? Before graduating? I don't think so.
I don't know about that. It's a tricky one.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, because they have accepted people before with 3 years degree, with a 3-year degree, and some years they haven't accepted. So I think this question should be like addressed to the Fulbright program officer in Algeria. Her name is Nadia Ouhinia. We can leave you her email to contact her. I'm sure she'll hate me for doing this, but
I can echo that, Adnan. Yep.
She's awesome. She answers everyone. So
yeah, she's great.
So yeah, I think you can do, but not sure. I mean, this one is a little bit tricky.
Yeah, but let's just on the safe side, let's just say generally no, because the US don't accept a 3 years degree.
Okay.
It needs a 4 years degree.
Oh, I did not look at it that way. I thought it was only a BA degree that you needed to have, and not that it's actually 4 years.
Yeah, they do require the actual 4 years,
Okay. That I did not know. Thanks for the information, because I've had that question from other students at the University of Tlemcen, and I honestly did not know what to answer. And I said, probably not, because you need to have your GPA for your whole bachelor's degree, but I did not think about it as a 4 years degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Adnan.
Yeah, I actually remember Nadia telling me this, Not
Okay.
LMD. I did not do LMD. I did the classical system. I didn't.
Same here.
An engineering degree. I had an engineering degree. So yeah, but I remember somebody asking her, and that's what she replied to him.
Okay.
But if you're an exceptional student, like you got good grades, like when I say good grades, it's from 14 and up, that they might reconsider,
Yeah, I mean, I think my answer would be, do not feel like this is going to stop you from applying or actually inquiring. So I would just say the same thing as Adnan. Just go ahead and ask Nadia. I think she's better fit to answer this question. And we can just tell you, don't apply. Please just go and ask Nadia. Be persistent. That is a quality you need to have for Fulbright. So just ask questions, and I'm sure there's always a way. So
Hussam, this is your short answer, or Osama, I think, the guy who asked that. Try to contact the Fulbright program for that. What else?
Yeah, any other question?
Yeah, I wrote them down. So,
Okay, so
I think we answered
back.
that in our previous one. But...
Sorry,
Anas is back.
Hi, Anas.
Hi, Anas. So Anas, actually, we have started answering a couple of questions already, and we introduced ourselves. And since you're back, could you just introduce yourself?
Everyone, I'm Anas. I used to be a Fulbright student. I just finished my master's a few months ago. And I'm back to Algeria. Hi, everyone.
Hello, welcome back. So,
So I have a couple questions from YouTube, where it's live right now.
okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So somebody asked, can you change your majors? Like if you're studying business in an Algerian university, but you want to go for IT in the US using Fulbright scholarship, is that possible?
Okay.
A short answer is yes, you can do it.
Okay. But it's not just arbitrary. You have to kind of make a point, why and how, and are you qualified to change your major? But yes, with conditions.
Exactly. You just have to build your case. And also you need to have probably some pre-requirements, like courses that you took during your bachelor's degree. Just highlight those, I believe. But I think it's very feasible that you change your degree and go on a different route. So
Yeah, I personally know somebody who's done electrical. I know a lot of someone's who've done electrical engineers, electrical engineering, and they went for a business degree right after. I'm sure Enes knows them too, because we both studied.
Yeah, actually, I'm changing my major for my PhD. So I've done electrical engineering for master's, and then I'll be doing computer science for my PhD. So it's possible.
and how did you do that? So do you want to share also what was the procedure maybe?
There isn't something specific as far as I know, because changing major is something very common in US universities.
That's true.
It's just like Raja said, you just have to build your case and prove your point that this is why I want to do this and this is why I can do it. And then if they buy it, then good. Congratulations, good for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, so when I went to the US, I want to highlight another case. Actually, I went to the US with a Fulbright to do American Studies, a master's in American Studies. And when I went there, I did not really like the program, and it was not as I expected it to be at my host university. And I was taking classes at Department of Education, and I really liked them. And I thought, why not change? And it's a possibility. And actually, one of my professors suggested that I do that because they saw I was more engaged in those classes, and they asked me if I wanted to change. And I did not even know it was possible. At the end, after the first semester, I ended up switching majors, and Fulbright's pay actually just transferred to my master's degree in education. So
Yeah,
this is very possible.
I know of a
It
case.
took some time. Sorry, Enes?
Yes, yeah, just to show another case of changing majors, or I know a student, a Fulbright student who was in my university, and he actually changed the whole university. He was in Columbia, Missouri, but then he just graduated from Johns Hopkins University because the program he was interested in was in a completely different university, and Fulbright approved that for him. So yeah,
Perfect. It's very flexible
it's
then.
possible.
Yeah, just make your case. I think you'll be fine. Another question, Adnan?
I have another question. Yeah. Let me go back. So somebody is asking, hi, please, could you tell us how we can benefit from Fulbright grants? So I'll take this one. Like, you need to apply for it. You need to prepare a good application, apply, and then if your application is good enough, they're gonna call you for an interview. And if your interview went well, they're gonna pre-select you. They call them pre-selections because they don't call you selected until the university accepts you and the Fulbright board actually grants you the Fulbright scholarship. And this is the overall process. This is how you can benefit from Fulbright. And if you're asking what Fulbright covers, it's 100% scholarship. It will cover for everything. It means tuition and fees, your monthly stipend, your insurance, your two-way ticket from Algeria. And yeah, if you guys can jump in, that'll be great.
So I actually the
You
question
can also
says,
refer them to the.
yeah, go ahead, Anas.
Sorry.
I say that he can also, if they want more details, they can just refer to the previous video we made. Well, I mean, they can find all the details they want about the application process.
Yes, that's true. Raja, do you have a question?
I know that the question said, how can we take advantage? Is that it, Adnan? How can we take advantage of Fulbright grant, or what was it?
Now, could you tell us how we can benefit from Fulbright grants?
Do they mean the post Fulbright? Because they do have, for alumni.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to understand too, Miriam.
Yeah, could you please Bugern Zakaria, could you please tell us what you want exactly? Because
actual grants?
I don't know if he's referring to the Fulbright grants, like alumni grants,
yeah,
or the Fulbright scholarship.
Yeah, I think the Fulbright scholarship, not like the alumni grant. No.
Yeah, probably. So another question I have here: are all
maybe,
the fields?
I'm sorry, Miriam. Maybe we could build on a little bit on Adnan's answer for the person who asked about Fulbright scholarship.
Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, so the first thing you need to know is that a TOEFL exam. So it's required that you take the TOEFL test before applying. And please bear in mind that the TOEFL is not the thing that will determine either you will get the Fulbright or not. So even if your TOEFL score is not high, that is not the ultimate requirement. I know that the Fulbright committee, if they think that your file is good enough, and even if your English is not, they will actually ask you to sit for another TOEFL test, and they will pay for that. Also for the GRE, that's the same case. So if you're required to take the GRE test, yeah, go ahead, Anas.
Just for the English part, they actually can, even if you still get a low score, they may ask you to go for 3 or 4 weeks.
Exactly. So that was actually my next point. So even if after taking the TOEFL test the second time, and that's still not the requirements for your university, but you're accepted, they will send you prior to when your program starts. And sometimes it's either 3 to 6 months or some weeks of intensive English courses. So that is not a problem. If you think, okay, I want to apply, but I'm not good at English, that is not the main requirements. The main requirements is to have good degrees and knowing what you want out of your master's degree. Having a vision, or the proposal of your master's degree should be well put together, but not the English part. So that is something that should not scare you at all. And also Fulbright covers, again, so when it's approved, it covers the flight tickets to the US and back, but only one time. Like if you want to come back for holidays, you will have to pay for your own flight tickets. It covers medical insurance, but not on preconditions. Like if you have an illness right now, that is something that you live with, it's not going to cover that. It covers illnesses that happens while you're on the US territory. So that is something you should also know. Also, the stipend covers pretty well the rent and all you need to do your groceries, everything. So it's a good stipend. It's a really good one. You can even make some savings if you're smart at that. I'm not, so it was a total mess, but I'm sure some people did.
Well, there is a condition for that actually. You're gonna have to learn how to cook, otherwise the stipend will not be enough.
Yeah, I think it really makes you a very responsible person. I mean, going to study abroad alone, even if everything it's really a great opportunity, because once you go there and you see how much people are struggling, paying for their studies, paying for their rents, and getting basically their life together is pretty hard. So I think it's a great opportunity. You should apply for it and not think about money or everything that's, has to do with that. Because Fulbright does cover everything. Yeah, sorry, Miriam, you
No, that's okay. I
wanted to
just
say
want,
something?
There is a question.
I want to move to another question.
Did you
Go
cover
ahead,
that
Anas.
Did you cover the question?
Yeah, we did that.
Okay, fine then. Because I was late, so I didn't know.
Okay,
So my
there is
can I
somebody
go next?
who's asking, how can grade affect your selection for the Fulbright? And he continues, do they accept IELTS? Yeah, these are the two questions.
Yeah, IELTS is fine, I think. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
either IELTS or Fulbright. Sorry, IELTS or TOEFL. Yeah. As for the grades, I think they matter, but not very much, because I'm someone who I did 5 years for engineering in Algeria, and every year I was finishing my year with an average of 10 point something. And I still got Fulbright. So if I got it, you should get it just fine.
Yeah, I think the standard here, like, most of US universities don't know how the system works in Algeria. So what can compensate for that is the GRE, the Graduate Record Examination. If you get a good score in that, I pretty much can guarantee your acceptance in a university. Because they base their selections, but they base a lot of their selections on GRE, sadly, which I don't personally agree with, but that's the system, so you have to.
Yeah. The grades again are really kind of negotiable. Like you have to go and sell yourself in a way. So it's not a big deal, but it doesn't mean they should be like bad. But I think average will be fine.
I think these questions are, during the last Education USA fair in Algeria, I noticed a common trend of questions. People, we tend in Algeria to focus a lot on grades. And given how the system works in Algeria, we believe if I'm at the top of my class and if I have the best grades, then I'm pretty much guaranteed to get the scholarship. You have to remember that this scholarship it's for studying, of course, but it's also a cultural exchange scholarship, which means you have to bring with you other stuff than just grades and scores, and you have to bring with you show them that you are an active person, someone who makes a change in his community, someone who is willing to talk about his country. Tell them that this is why they are paying, because they can get smart people from all over the world. So they have to pick someone from Algeria, not only because he's smart or she is smart, but also because you're able to represent your country. You are able to show them something about your country. So I want people to not just think about grades and scores, but also think about these things too.
Yeah, I think that was a great point, Anas, that you highlighted. The cultural exchange is definitely a major part of Fulbright. So if you are engaged in your community, please highlight that in your application. Say all the activities that you've been involved in. If you organized something, anything that makes you stand out, basically out of academia. Please list it down.
Yeah.
Anything that makes
you saying there are Fulbright grantees watching.
Yeah, I was going to move next to those who have been accepted recently to the Fulbright, and I'm planning to move. So I think the first thing, congratulations. And so I have a few questions here. So the first one, should I rent an apartment before coming? I'll take that one.
I want to answer this. I want to answer this.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Don't.
Don't, exactly. Don't.
Do not do that.
That was a rough one.
Okay, so
I disagree on that.
Okay, I don't know if you guys know about my story. I don't know if Adnan, you remember
Yeah,
and then I
do.
guess you know, and Miriam, I don't know about you, Anas, but I think it was like a major hit when I was when I went to the US. So before going, I actually found this great looking apartment online that was close to campus, and I loved it and everything, but I did not know about the neighborhood. There was not much said, and I don't know the context. I don't know I really don't know where was exactly Lehigh situated. And Lehigh, that's the university I went to. It's a great university, beautiful campus. It really looks like Hogwarts. It's amazing. If you guys are around Pennsylvania, just go visit it. It's really beautiful. And then I went to this apartment, and it was like 15 minutes walk to campus, which is really not bad, right?
No, yeah.
Really not bad.
Yeah.
But the neighborhood, like 5 minutes makes a difference. The neighborhood was not best suited for me, and the apartment as well. So it was not like the like what I saw online, and I was disappointed. And please, when you go there, if I have an advice to give, and if you're alone, try to live with other people. It's a great learning experience, and I think you would feel more support. You'll have more supports from your peers because they're all coming from different countries and they all feel the same way. Also, try to have a furnished place. It's a hassle if you have a non-furnished apartment. I'm sure like on university campuses, there are... Yes, Anas, I think you want to say something?
Yes, I think I had quite the opposite experience of yours.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can all answer that because it's a kind of personal experience, and then people can benefit from I think each perspective.
Yeah.
So
I'm almost done, and then you guys can go ahead with your beautiful experiences that I'm really happy you got. So in my case, I actually did not like the place. It was far. It was not as I expected it, not as shown. So just be careful, like just to be on the safe side. When you go there, you will have some time to look for a place. You'll have at least 15 days. And at the beginning, I think the university will definitely arrange for Fulbright grantees a place where they could stay in between. And also they'll have recommendations on places you could go see around campus. So use those resources. Don't just venture and rent something while you don't know the place in the area. Just take a little bit of time just to be on the safe side. That is my advice personally. So Anas, if you want to go ahead and share your experience.
Well, I think what you said was very important, and I agree with most of it actually. It's just that what I want to say is I may have been lucky with my experience because I rented my apartment through Craigslist. Advice number one is don't trust Craigslist a lot because there is a lot of schemes on Craigslist. Yeah. I was lucky, alhamdulillah. What I want to say is before deciding whether to rent your apartment before you arrive or after, you have to make up your mind. Do you want to live alone or do you want to have a roommate? Buy a car? Does your city require you to buy a car? Some cities transportation system, a bad one, so it's either you have to live on campus or you have to buy a car. Take all these things in mind and don't be fooled by the pictures you see of any apartments. The option, whether it's furnished or non-furnished, I would say you can go for furnished if you want to save yourself the trouble, but you're going to have to worry about the money you're paying too. So you actually can get some really good deals on, there is the Goodwill shops, there is used furniture. You don't have to buy new ones. Furnitures.
Yeah.
Or recommendation.
The problem is later when you're leaving. So
I just want to avoid the hassle. I mean, if you can find a place where you have the bed, you have the minimum furniture, yes, you can buy a desk, you can buy an additional chair. But I bought a couple of times bad frames just because I did not choose the furnished apartments at first. And
the thing with the furnished apartments is they tend to be expensive.
Yeah, a little bit.
It really depends on the area you're staying. So that's really a case-to-case thing. I don't know. For me, that's what I think.
We can't like make a definite, like we give them definitive answer here because the US is so huge and we don't know where they're saying.
Exactly. That's a valid point.
Yeah. If you send you to New York, the rent could be like crazy, and if you go to a small town, you know, a college town, rent is very cheap, you know. So it really depends on your. I believe it's a personal choice. But if we go to the basics here, I'm with Raja because what I did is I rented like a room for a month, and during that month I looked for a place because I'd like to see, like, I wanted to see myself the place. I didn't want to, like, I don't believe the internet. I don't believe the pictures on the internet. So that's what I did. I rented the room for a month and I changed to a permanent place. So yeah.
That is, I think Adnan, that's a great thing that you're sharing. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to try to give like kind of an objective view here or an opinion about this because I was not lucky, but I really liked my choice, and it took a lot of effort and time and work to do it. So I think I agree with one point. What you said is that you cannot risk with an apartment. You're going to be living there for 2 years or 1 year minimum, so you need to be. It needs to be comfortable, good location, neighborhood, everything. So yes, I do agree. You do not need to risk. However, I think also since a lot of Fulbrighters now are stressing about coming, there are like a million things they're thinking about. If you have the time and the energy to spend time while in Algeria to get rid of this problem, get your housing ready, I think it's much better. So what I did is that I rented my apartment before I come. Signed my lease for a year, and I was extremely happy with it. But what I did is that I spent really a long time, maybe a month, looking around the whole town. I probably looked at every single apartment in the town, which is a little bit crazy, but it helped. What I did also is that I contacted my program and I asked for student volunteers who will be like happy to answer some of the questions. So this could eliminate the neighborhood thing because you will be asking students themselves so they know better. I also contacted some of the student organizations on campus, and I asked them to kind of go. I had some apartments that I liked, and they went for me and took pictures themselves, so not from the internet. So people were volunteering to do that. I contacted the Muslim Student Association, for instance. You can choose. And I think students are very helpful. They are willing to help new international students. So that's something you can think about. Each program will have some students to volunteer to answer questions. So I think if you have plan and if you have some time, I don't know when everyone is leaving. So if you're leaving in August, there's still some time. It's maybe better to try to get rid of that or get the housing off the table thing. But that's my opinion. Again, you cannot risk.
Okay,
so,
I mean, a different question if possible.
Okay, just one more thing, Adnan, and then we can move on if you'd like, because that was something that really affected the first semester in my stay in the US, and I would just want to give probably, maybe that will help other Fulbrighters. I really would emphasize on you not signing a lease from Algeria. Do not do that. Just go there, see the place, look around, take at least a week. A week is not a long time, and you can find a place. Talk to people. What I advise you to do is probably reach out to your university from here. It's okay. You can reach out, say, what are the safest areas? What do you suggest? I could look when I get there. And I think they'll be able to help you on this point. But do not sign a lease. Take your time, go there. You will have at least a week or two or a month to look for an appropriate apartment for yourself. Okay, yeah.
All right.
Next question. I have one related to that. I can answer real quickly. How can I pay my deposit? So the short answer to that, if your landlord require a deposit, Fulbright will pay for that, and then they will take it off from your monthly stipend, either on 1 month or 2. So don't worry about that. Just let them know. Don't sign anything before you let them know.
Yeah, contact Amidis, and they'll pay it for you.
Okay. Last question I have here: should I register for classes and how? Anyone want to take that?
Maybe you should. I think you should just email your supervisor. I'm sure you are in contact, or ask to be in contact with your supervisor at your host university, and ask them about the typical classes that he would suggest for a first, he or she would actually suggest for the first semester. Ask for the list of classes that they're offering for the first semester. Read them carefully and see which ones, try to make the timetable for you suitable. I think you can register for classes, but before that, just ask your supervisor. I think he or she would be more fit to answer this question.
Yeah, just one point maybe. If you have elective classes, try to register as soon as possible, because classes can get
Fill in
filled
quickly, yeah.
So you might not have the chance to, and you don't know if they're going to be offered the next semester or in the next couple of years. So just this point, if you have elective classes. If you don't, you're fine.
Yeah, talk to your advisor, like Raja said. Talk to him or her, and be honest about, be very straightforward about what you want. I want to study this, I want to be this, because your advisor cannot suggest anything if you don't tell him or her what you want.
That's
what
true.
you want to be. You need to be very straightforward. Don't be shy, just say what you want, and they will give you some classes to choose from. And like Miriam said, if you have electives, be quick. But if the class is full, you can always ask if you can be added, because as graduate students, they always make exceptions. At least that's what I did in my previous university.
That's
In
true.
the US. Some classes were full, but since we were graduate students, they made exceptions for us and they added us. So I don't know about the others.
Sometimes you have a week to drop classes, and some people drop, so you can just be in a waiting list too. So if someone drops from that class, you can just register for it after him or her.
Yeah, and maybe it's also good to say that if you registered for a class and then came to the US, decided, maybe I don't want to take it, you can also drop the class.
Yep.
Since you mentioned that.
Yeah, so we have another question here. I can answer very quickly. Are all the fields eligible for the program? Yes, except medical.
Right? Yeah.
Well,
Medical, dentistry, I don't know.
No, just medical students,
everything.
I think.
I'm not sure.
You can go study biology, for example. You can go do research about cancer, but you cannot go be a doctor, a medical doctor.
True. And even to be a dentist, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
No.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And there is another question that says, what about the pre-academic program? Do we study a lot? I laugh at this question.
Selma did that, I think. I think she said it was pretty intense. I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't do that.
I did not do the academic program. I don't know. I can't answer this question.
Actually, I was... yeah, go ahead, Anas. Go ahead.
I think for the pre-academic programs, either the English part, if you are required because you have some low English scores, or it can be required. It can be required by the university, just like the case with Majda, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something else. I think Selma did that, and I remember she said it was a lot of work, but I'm not sure.
So Selma, I think she did an intensive one for a month. It is a lot of work. So they just basically go around the basics of writing an academic essay. What's the class's requirements like? What's the class environment like? Class dynamics, how you would answer questions in class. It's really important that you go around this before getting into your master's, because personally I was supposed to do a pre-academic program, but I declined because it wasn't mandatory. But when I went to do my master, I was like, oh man, I wish I did it. Because it's a lot of work. You internalize a lot of information. You need to absorb a lot of information as soon as you get there for your master's degree. And if you have that pre-academic program, it's a great preparation for the first semester. It's like throws you in the pool, but it's actually hands you out something to swim. It does not only just throws you and be like, okay, now you're on your own. Do your thing.
To answer that in a different way, I think I would say all of the Fulbright experience, the studies in the US are all going to be a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
So
I like Adnan's reaction.
It's like you will by the end of your experience you will feel the pre-academic thing is just a piece of cake. So
well, and in Boeing, they usually send you to great places, and they have a lot of activities and for you to visit around, get to know a bit more about the American culture. I think you should do it. It's a great experience. You do get to study, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's like, you just have to organize your time, really. You just have to organize your time, and you'll be fine. Don't worry.
I think you guys were talking about the gateway orientation.
The gateway was just 4 days or 5 days, but the pre-academic is usually from I think 2 to 4 weeks, something like that. So
no, actually more, a month or month and a half. Sometimes it goes even more. I've had friends who had 3 months pre-academic program.
The gateway is much shorter, and it's a lot of fun actually.
I would say if you're going for Fulbright, it's one big adventure, so don't miss anything. If they are paying for it.
Yeah, they will cover that.
So go. It's for free. Come on.
They will they'll cover that. So
yeah, you'll be fine. Don't worry. It's a lot of work, but you'll be fine. We survived, so you can survive too. Yeah. Even though
very inspirational, Adnan. Thank you.
What?
Very inspirational. If we survived, you can survive.
It is reality.
Yeah. So somebody is asking, would you pay for the rent or the university will cover that? No, Fulbright will give you a monthly stipend and your rent will come out of that monthly stipend. But
it means you will manage your own money.
Yeah, exactly. You manage your own money. Don't worry. It will be enough. Don't worry. And what about the dorm?
Largely enough.
Yeah.
What about what?
The dorms. You cannot rent in dorms because dorms are for undergraduate students, and you will be a graduate student. So, yeah, they won't let you. They will only allow you to rent in postgraduate housing.
Yeah, and usually on-campus housing is more expensive. Just to know, but
it depends. But in my case. The university had some student apartments. Some of them were relatively cheap, given that they were on campus. But I have to say they were very old. They had some real maintenance problem, and I didn't like the administration. Honestly, they were horrible.
Yeah,
on campus. Yeah, I mean,
I think again here we go back to the case by case and university by university.
Yeah.
The US is huge. Once more, for example, in my case, I lived on and off campus, and I'm gonna tell you both experiences. Off campus is a lot cheaper. On campus is more expensive, but it's, for me, in my case, it was better. I don't know. Well, but I guess the heating system was electric, and so the bills were very, very high. Especially if you're going to a place where it's going to snow, please try to look for a place where the heating is gas. It's not electric. Do not go for electric heating.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
So expensive, yeah.
Yeah, so...
yeah, go ahead.
More questions? Do you have?
Yeah, we have more questions. Somebody
Okay.
says, I have been selected to study in Washington. So if you know someone there, I really need him to give me some advice about that place. So
I can answer. Washington State,
or
DC or yeah.
yeah, exactly. Washington D.C. or Washington State. But general answer to that, there is actually a lot of pages on Facebook. They say, for instance, Fulbrighters D.C., Fulbrighters Florida. So try to go there and
Even
ask
international
people.
center too.
Yeah. If you are in DC, a lot of Fulbrighters end up living in Virginia because it's a little bit cheaper and not very far. So you might want to consider that. But Washington State, I don't know.
yeah, it's the same. Like, contact your university, and your university will give you some information about student associations. Like, there are a lot of volunteers on campus, so they will be
Yeah.
happy to help you out. So don't worry about that. Just contact the university, the international services, and they will help you with that. There is an actual like international office that is made for this. You don't need to know somebody personally. You know, people are very helpful. They will answer your questions. So yeah.
And also, I think you can even ask them to connect you with the Fulbright community at your university. And
Yeah.
If
usually, all
there
Fulbright
is any.
students are very helpful. So if you have already contacted university, and I'm sure you did, just ask them, do you have any person, can you appoint any person I can talk to for housing purposes, or to just walk me around campus and let me know what's the cool places that I can go to when I'm there, restaurants, anything. So yeah, just do that. Get in touch.
Just reach out to people. Don't be shy. Don't just ask questions. Ask us questions as much as you can.
Yeah. I don't have any more questions
question.
on YouTube. I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. I just have one, so you can go.
He said Washington D.C. Sorry, he said D.C. Okay.
Yeah. So there is a
My
group.
friend, big difference. You have to be more specific.
We were starting to feel hopeless. Washington? I don't know anybody in there.
There is a page on Facebook that's called Fulbrighters Washington DC. They are very helpful. Actually, I needed to go to DC for a while, and Fulbrighters hosted me. So yeah, you just go there and ask. But
You can maybe,
housing is going to be very expensive in DC.
so maybe you can, Miriam, share the link as a comment on the YouTube video.
I will do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and DC is beautiful. You're gonna love it.
Yeah,
We
get some
don't-
chipotle while in there.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
avoid-
It's expensive.
Yeah, stay away from Italian restaurants.
Exactly, get some chipotle.
Yeah.
Exactly. Partly, it's amazing. This is an inside joke. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
We're sorry about that. Okay, I have a question here. How the classes look in the US? How classes look in the US? Who can take that?
Well, classes depends on what's your major, actually. Some universities have good funding for some departments and bad funding for others. In general, you should, if your university is ranked, have some good ranking, then actually you can find the basics. You will find the classroom and the chairs and the professor teaching you, and a library with some really good resources there. I think it's just a normal classroom. There isn't really something specific about it.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
if I may. So it really depends if you're
Yes, go
doing
ahead.
something in engineering or in the humanities. It's completely different things, or architecture. I don't know what you're going to study there. But if you're going to do something in humanities, when you go, you're going to be faced with a lot of reading. You will have to read a lot. So I don't know. I know Adnan and Anas studied something technical. I'm not sure what's the major, but you guys can talk about your experiences.
No, the reading is always there. You're gonna read a lot, even if I'm in a technical field. I had to read like 200 pages to 300 pages a day. It's crazy.
Don't scare them off. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, you'll be
No,
fine. But
You'll
it's
have
gonna
a
be
But then it's like dropping bombs, that it's gonna be fine. But that's true. I think they should know that there is a lot of reading.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a lot of reading, a lot of homework, a lot of class projects. So this is the US system. They really engage you in class. But
So
do not worry, you'll get used to it really. And if you fall behind a bit, it's okay. Everyone does it. Sometimes I don't want to read some chapters, and I just go to class without reading chapters. I don't encourage everybody to do it, but sometimes you just get tired. So whatever.
Yeah,
But
I think we all did that at some point.
Yeah,
There is
but
something
for
here.
3 hours of class, usually you have 3 hours class. I don't know, I'm going to talk about my case and you guys can talk about yours. So for each class, it was 3 hours.
Same,
and I would have to study for about 6 hours at least before the class, 9 hours to get done with the readings. Also in the class, you will have to do a lot of discussion. So there's the teacher is just the facilitator. Not someone who's going to bring you knowledge or just going to give you a lot of information. You're like, okay, so you guys have done the readings. I assume you did. And that's done. And then they move on with the class and you will talk about the things that you read and highlighted and talk about theories. It really depends on the kind of class that you have and the kind of professor. But usually that's how it's happened. You read the material before class and you come to class to discuss them. It's not during class time that you will learn. During class, you just discuss and get new ideas to build on the things that you learned in advance.
Yep.
Yeah, so great. I think we covered that. We need to move on to...
There's one point I want to add here, actually. I think it may be helpful.
Okay.
I'm sure people are scared at the beginning. So, I mean, it's only natural during the first semester that you will face some difficulties. And I think there is some specific rule where you can actually apply for reduced load classes. So instead of having 3 classes, you may be allowed to have 2 or 1 class, depends on your university. Because it's your first semester, just to help you, just move in and start, getting used to the new system, but then you will just go back to full-time student in the next semesters.
That's also case by case based.
Exactly. It depends on the university, really.
Yeah.
So let's move on. We have another question. Can you give us a step-by-step plan to follow for the selected people? So yeah, I would suggest that only one person give a general overview of what they should do, Don't talk about your personal experiences so that it doesn't confuse them,
I'm sorry, I did not hear that well, Adnan. What's the question?
What they should do.
Can you give us a step-by-step plan to follow for the selected people? I am kind of confused.
Okay, so who wanna take that?
Everyone is scared.
I think I could, but I would really appreciate if you guys could build on that, just in case I missed something.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
So when you get selected, I'm sure you've done the interview, you get selected, they sent you an email, you approved the university that we were selected, and congratulations. That's great, perfect. And now the real hassle starts. So you will have to do medical checkups. They will send you a form, then you will have to do a TB test. You'll have to do a lot of tests before going to the US, and that needs to be certified by a doctor, obviously. So you will do a blood test, tuberculosis, all sorts of one. I think they're all listed on the form that they will provide you with, and I think Nadia will definitely send you out this document if she did not already. So that is one thing that you will do prior to leaving Algeria. Second thing is, so if you're accepted, if you have to do a pre-academic program, you will leave before everybody else. You will leave on your own. You'll probably leave in July, and so they will send you the flight tickets. You have probably to pack lightly. Please don't take everything with you. You're gonna through everything and buy new things. Really, that's something I insist on. That don't take a lot of things with you. Take the necessary stuff. And if I may, it might sound weird. You could try to take
the packing. Raja, can we just so
Yeah.
we don't lose them? So the medical checkup, I would say the visa application.
Oh yes,
later.
Yeah,
So we can talk about that then move step by step. So the visa application, they would send you also like step by step what they do. I'm not sure we can really go into details because they keep changing these things.
Well, yeah, I can help with that. I'm applying for a visa these days, so I'm kind of familiar with the latest changes.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think Nadia does a very good job at sending them step by step for the visa application. You know,
Yeah, you just have to follow. You will apply by yourself, so don't count on anyone. It will be totally kind of separate way from the Fulbright. Just make sure you don't lose time, I would say, on applying visa. As soon as you get the information, follow them and go ahead. If someone else want to add, you can go.
Yeah, you just, I mean, the first step would be just to fill out the DS 160 form, which is an online thing. Also, you will need the picture. Make sure you get the picture you need with the dimensions required, with the requirement of the, I think it's different than the French requirement. So be careful, don't make that mistake. You will also need your DS 2019. Probably you will receive them from Nadia.
That is something that Nadia will provide. Yeah.
Yeah, all this information Nadia will provide. You know, don't worry about it. It's not that hard of a process to apply.
Yeah, and I think
Just
read carefully what
visa.
Nadia says. Nadia sends actually on the emails, and ask Nadia questions. She's very responsive.
She will hate us for that. Okay, medical checkup.
I used to call Nadia, and she would never turn me down. I think she does a great job at that, at providing information. So really reach out to her. She's a great person to contact.
Yeah.
Better to email rather than call. She doesn't like phone calls. She's good with email.
Definitely, she doesn't like that. That is emergency cases.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank you, Anas.
Medical checkup, visa, then what? Raja, you were talking. I cut you off earlier.
So
Packing?
I mean, just get ready, talk to your university. I think that's pretty much it before going. You do the medical checkups. They will send you your flights. You can check the itinerary and see if you like it or something. The visa, get done with the visa as soon as you have the information and your paperwork, like the DS 2019 and all. Apply for an appointment, because sometimes it gets hard to get an appointment on time and you don't want to be late. Other than that,
I think they have improved the system, and now it's actually quicker to get your appointment.
Okay.
All these are details. Let's leave them apart.
Look at that. Look at him.
Any more questions?
Yeah, so just to sum up, medical checkup, visa, pack, they'll buy you a ticket, you go to the US, you talk to your advisor, you select classes, and you start working. This is it.
Yeah. Pack lightly. Take winter clothes. Take like couple of stuff winter clothes. It might really sound weird, but take a plate and a knife and a fork and a cup and one pan. When you go, it's really weird, but it would be helpful.
And if I want to add to that weird list, add a cover to that for your first night.
Yeah.
Add like
yes.
A cover that.
Your first night might be in a hotel, but might be not. So
maybe not. My first night was actually in my apartment, and I did not have covers, and it was already cold because I was in Michigan, so I did not sleep at night at all. The first thing I did.
I want to add something important to them. So there is two things I don't want anyone to compromise in their experience. And these two things, first of all, is make sure you get a very nice bed to sleep on.
Yes. Preach it.
Trust me.
Yes.
You want really to sleep well, because if you don't sleep well, you will wake up grumpy and then you won't be able to focus and work. And the second thing, never ever compromise your meals. Eat your food and don't starve yourself. I mean, these two
Yes.
things may not seem important, but trust me, they make a big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are important. I agree.
And there is something about the US that they keep saying is to keep hydrated. Drink a lot of water. I don't think even in Algeria I drank as much water as in the US because it's really
Yeah.
intense. You get to walk a lot, talk a lot. It's new information. Your brain needs water and your body needs the water. So drink water.
Water-
It's really important.
Water is crucial.
Something
I was
important, but they'll tell you about it anyways. When you get to the US, you'll have to open a bank account.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
easy.
yeah.
Don't worry. It's easy.
It's really easy. It's done
Yeah.
in less than an hour.
Less than an hour. It's easy. That's one of the steps. Okay, we have to move on now because they have more questions. I'm sorry, I'm being the bossy one today.
That's okay.
Yeah. So if I applied for off-campus housing offered by my university, can I change housing at any time I want? No, you cannot change housing at any time you want because you're going to sign a lease. A lease is a contract, and whatever you have on that contract, 6 months, 12 months, you have to finish it. And if you want to break the lease, I'm sure there is a penalty for that. And generally, it's like a 1 month rent.
Yeah, some
So-
people sublease their apartments, but still there are a lot of fees and kind of requirements for that. It's not-
And actually, sometimes not only you have to pay 1 month, but you have to pay the months that remain in if someone else doesn't take over your lease. So
That's true.
you have to be careful about when signing a lease. Make sure you really like the apartments and like the place. If you sign for a year, yes, you can change. But if you want, make a deal with your landlord or landlady, bring someone and say, this students want to take over my room or my apartments. So I'm actually switching the lease to her or changing the lease to him. And
That's why
it.
we said.
But if
That's why we said in the beginning, don't risk an apartment. Just make sure
if
like.
I don't think you can break the lease at any moment. That's not possible.
It's not
That's
easy.
not possible. Yeah. So make sure you like your apartment before signing the lease. Okay. I'm planning to apply next year. When is exactly the period of applications? When do applications open?
This year, exceptionally, they opened them for 6 months.
Really?
Is May 31st. Yeah, and it was an exception. So Nadia told me that. Usually they are first week of June is the deadline. They open them, I don't know, April. They used to do that, right?
Well, yeah, just
It varies from one year to another. Sometimes they open them in February, sometimes in April. So generally, it's February or April to May or July.
Yeah.
It depends.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Move
I
on.
guess when you're selected, they will interview first. What would they be asking in the interview? Good question. What would they ask you in the interview?
Can you say that again?
That's
So
basically the
they're asking about if they like your application and they call you for an interview. What would they ask you in an interview?
Okay, I think we can cover that real quickly because we did talk a lot about that in our previous stream or video, so they can go back and look at that. But you can answer it like really quickly in overview, or one of you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I'm not
it's
sure.
basically
Yeah.
what I can say is you're not going to repeat what you said in your application. They have already read it. They know what's in it. So you probably need to talk about something you didn't have the chance to put in your application. Maybe highlight some experience. Maybe talk about an aspect in your life or personality that you think will help you be accepted and that you didn't have the chance to put it in your application. It's basically they read about you, they read what you wrote, and now they want to meet the person and get to know who you are in person so that they can make up their mind based on the person they met. And yeah, I think
Exactly.
pretty
Well,
much what I
this
think.
is such a general question. Like, we don't know. It depends on a person. It depends on your application. It depends
Exactly.
on your major. It depends what you want to do in the US. There's a lot of things involved. But I would advise to prepare for the generic question. Talk about yourself. Why do you want to study in the US? Why the US in particular? you know, how can you show your culture in the US? How can these kind of things, like generic questions. But like there are other questions, and it depends on your application. Really, it depends what you have done until like to the point where you applied. So it's very like it's a personalized interview. So, but again, don't worry about that. Be very comfortable. Do not stress out. That's the main thing.
I will
They're
post
friendly.
the link
They're
to
very
the
friendly
page.
and honest.
I will post our previous video to the page. You can also look at that. Just one word, I think, be confident. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
They want to know that you can survive there. You're not going to break down once you get the cultural shock and you start saying, I want to go back home.
I'm sorry, even if that happens, and that's something that happened to me, so I thought I was very well prepared. I've done an exchange when I was 19 in the US as part of a SUSI program. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's the study of the US Summer Institute. And I went to Ohio for 5 weeks, and I was 19, I was super young, and I had a tremendous experience. It was amazing. I was eager to go back one day to the US. And I thought I was perfectly ready for the experience, for studying. I was done with my master's. I was going to do another master's, so it was already something that I thought I handled pretty well. I got there, I had a culture shock, and I had quite a breakdown, and I did not know how to handle it. So even if that happens, and it's something that you can't apprehend, it's something that you can't you can't control at first. So even if that happens, do not be scared of your feelings. Do not be scared of asking yourself, what's happening to me? Because that can happen. A culture shock can happen to anyone and to the strongest person. If that happens, reach out to the international office. They have great resources. They have psychologists who are there specifically to discuss this issue with international students. Do not be ashamed and do not be scared. Reach out and talk about it. Talk to your officer, talk to your supervisor, and share your experience with other students. A lot of them might be feeling the same way as you, but some of them can handle it better. So do not feel ashamed about your feelings and reach out to your university. That's something that I really want to make sure that you get and not be scared of.
Yeah,
okay.
Talk to your amicus officers.
All right.
That too.
Yeah, so we have a couple more questions and we need to close this because we've been doing for an hour now. So these one are easy to answer. Can you finish your PhD after finishing the master's degree? Yes, you can do that. But after you finish, you have to go to Algeria. Anas is doing it actually. He did his master's and he's going back for a PhD. I did it, but not in the US. I went to a different country. The second question is it possible to open a bank account in another state other than the one I'm going to study in? No, you have to open a bank account.
Why would you do that?
Well, because I'm going to start my pre-academic program in another state. I didn't finish, to be totally.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you can open. Actually, Adnan, I have a friend who did that. So he went to Chicago for his pre-academic program, and he opened a bank account in there, but he opened a Chase account. Whereas at the university and in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, where we were staying, Wells Fargo was the main university bank that was present in the area. So make sure that even if you open a bank account in the state where you're doing your pre-academic program, ask your university if they actually have a branch there. That's important. So otherwise, you will just have a lot of issues when withdrawing money and stuff. So
yeah, exactly. So just open it in your state. Just open it in your state. It's easier that way.
In your city.
Yeah. So all right. Thank you everyone for joining and for your questions. Thank you to the attendees here, Raja, Miriam, and Anas.
Thank you for joining, Adnan. Thank you for the help for putting this together.
facilitated
it. أنا نقولكم صحة رمضانكم. الذي
صحة ولهنا إن شاء الله.
I mean,
A special, shout out to Miriam and Adnan, who are not going to spend Ramadan in Algeria once more. So, good luck, guys. Keep it up.
enjoy your Ramadan. صحتكم
Thank
عليكم.
you.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you very much. It was great seeing you.
Yeah, and it was great seeing you too. And have a nice evening in Algeria, and have a nice morning in the US. And I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah, have some sleep. That's what I was going to say, please.
By the way, guys.
All right.
Adnan
Bye bye.
All right.
I am so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam. Sah.
Like,